going on, AZ Sports, Titan Game Day Live, the halftime show here live from the Mainstay, 2 blocks away from Nissan Stadium, where the Tennessee Titans had a halftime lead of 13-6 over the New Orleans Saints. A late touchdown by the Titans, and then a sack party breaks out on the Saints' final drive before the half as they attempted to put points on the board late. Landry gets a sack, his 8th consecutive game, with at least a half a sack. Jeffrey Simmons gets his 2nd sack of the game. He now has 7.5 of the season, and Landry has 2.5 on the year. So we're live here from the Mainstay. Austin Stanley, Luke Worsham as well, here live on the show. Real quick, Luke, go ahead and plug in our audio real quick as people on the internet can't quite hear us, but we'll get that ready to go here live on the show. Austin Stanley. There we go. And now Luke kicks the light. Okay, there you go, Luke. Austin Stanley and Luke Worsham in for Zach Bingham today here, Titan Game Day Live at the Mainstay. We will be back here. We got the audio now. You guys should be able to hear us. No, do you not have audio now?
It should be okay.
Okay, everybody, it should be okay. Okay, we're good. All right, so Luke, I will let you talk about Ryan Tannehill because, look, Titans scored a touchdown right there at the end, but
can we start on a good note, though?
Sure, go ahead.
I want to start on the positive note because this morning on Titan Game Day Morning Live, I said it was their third key to the game was that this pass rush, the TTM needed to be unleashed today, again, against the New Orleans Saints. And it's happened. You mentioned the sack party that happened at the end of the first half there. But really, all throughout the first half, Trevor Siemian was under duress from this Titans pass rush, which continues to be among the best and most productive in the entire NFL. Here's a stat for you, Austin.
Yeah.
The last time the Titans had an individual player with 10 sacks was 2016. 5 years ago, it was Brian Orakpo. And with that sack before the half, Harold Landry notched his 10th of the year.
In his 10th game of the year.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about what Landry's doing. And I mentioned this, he's had at least half a sack in 8 straight games for the Titans. And Jeffrey Simmons has 7.5 sacks on the season, including his 2 today. And he had 5 sacks in his first 2 seasons with the Tennessee Titans. So it is crazy. And
they're all playing off of each other.
No doubt.
Were you about to talk about Bud Dupree? Is that what we're about to
I was about to talk about the lack of players out there, moving forward.
Because Bud Dupree goes into the locker room very, very early in the first quarter with an abdominal injury. He's quickly ruled out. Obviously not really sure what's up there. And then Ola Adeni, who would have been the backup, the second stringer, he's out. So now it's probably going to be a combination of Joe Jones and Danico Autry at edge for the Titans for the rest of this one.
And ironically, because Luke and I were checking the roster to see if who else was available at outside linebacker, the answer is nobody. And so we were looking, and then the first 2 plays after Ola Adeni gets hurt, the Titans have back-to-back sacks with Simmons and Landry. So that's the positive there. Now, it's been an ugly first half. The Titans defense has played great outside of a couple plays on the Saints' one drive where the 46-yard bomb to Harris over Chris Jackson. Chris Jackson got dinged for a holding call that allowed for a first down for the Saints when they shouldn't have, when they should have punted. And then Janoris Jackrabbit Jenkins, whatever you want to call him, basically worse eye discipline than Malcolm Butler and just loses his guy and allows Taquan Smith to get a touchdown there. Outside of that, the Titans defense has been locked down, but the Titans offense has struggled to get going until that last drive there where Tannehill snuck it in. They got creative there, but overall, we're still trying to figure out what this Titans offense looks like without 22.
Yeah, and good first half, right? They have the lead. They have a touchdown lead.
Right.
You think maybe the disparity starts to get greater as this pass rush heats up. The offense kind of found the rhythm. But as you teased earlier, Austin, I want to talk about Ryan Tannehill.
Okay.
Ryan Tannehill needs to step up. It's time. We have seen all season, this is a guy who first 2 years with the Titans was near the top of the NFL in passer rating, one of the most effective quarterbacks. I used to, over the offseason, I kept calling him the downfield assassin.
Right.
Because that's who this guy was his first years with the Titans. It's been extremely underwhelming this year. And as some people pointed out on Twitter when I tweeted this, they're like, well, what about the comeback wins? Sure, I'll give you that. But how many times, Austin, have we seen disastrous turnovers from Ryan Tannehill? And we nearly had one there from him because if not for a fluke roughing the passer penalty that, debatably whether it should have been called, he's being pushed back in the pocket, and as he's going to the ground, he just throws up an arm punt that Marcus Williams could have fair caught.
Right.
What Ryan Tannehill needs to get back to commanding this offense and elevating the players around him. I'm tired of hearing excuses. Not from them. They're not going to make excuses, the Titans, but the fans make excuses. First, it was, well, the pass protection's not good. Well, Henry's not out there. I'm tired of it. If this team
okay, I get what you're saying. Ryan Tannehill has made a few mistakes, especially with some bad throws that led to interceptions, but he's not getting consistent help from his guys. There's been 4 drops in that first half alone. Now, the McNichols, what should have been a touchdown pass at McNichols could not have been a more beautiful throw that was perfectly placed right there for McNichols, who had it and then could not finish the catch as he hit the ground and was sandwiched between a defender and the turf. So, he hasn't been outstanding, but he hasn't been bad either, because we were talking about this in the pregame show, Luke, of which Titans skill player outside of A.J. Brown was going to have the best day. And A.J. Brown so far has 1 catch for 16 yards on 4 targets. He has a drop. Now, the 1 catch that he has was on a direct snap to Peterson, reverse Tannehill throw for that's a lot of work to get A.J. Brown a 16-yard catch, and then they hand the ball off to him once, and he gets 7 yards to set up 1st and goal there. But it's been the Marcus Johnson game. Marcus Johnson has 3 catches for 83 yards. Whenever the Titans offense has needed a spark, 88's been there to give it to him. And then you've got Jeff Swain's got 2 catches for 19 yards, and everybody else just has 1.
All of that is great. But over the last 3 weeks, each game, we have seen a back-breaking Ryan Tannehill interception. Now, Titans won the first 2, and it looks like they're in position.
They're leading by 7
this
here.
One off, right?
And that was not an interception. It got wiped off, and the roughing call on that was fairly weak. Not as weak as the Aaron Donald one.
The penalty didn't affect the play, though. That's the thing.
I'm with you.
The play was
–
the play
but again,
happened
it
before the
still
flag
didn't
came out.
count, so I understand that you don't
But we
want –
still need to judge him as if it did count.
I don't disagree with you, but when you're saying that's 3 games in a row, that it wasn't an interception. It factually was not.
Technicality,
Yes.
Legally, it was not an interception. But you go back last week against the Rams, first throw of the game, a quick out against the best corner in the NFL. Stupid decision. Week before that, first drive of the game, straight into triple coverage against the Colts, intercepted. Stupid decision. This is happening too often with Ryan Tannehill. And look, I like Ryan Tannehill. I was one of his most vocal supporters over the offseason. And I don't think he's bad, all right? All these people are saying the slander. It's not slander. I don't think he's bad. He's making bad plays. He's putting his team in a bad position. He's not elevating those around him, as we've seen him do before.
He has made more bad decisions this season than he has the previous 2 seasons as Titans starting quarterback. I don't disagree with you there. But again, he's also had less help outside than he's had the last 2 seasons. Now there's no Derrick Henry, and even with Derrick Henry, he was making some bad decisions. But there hasn't been the solid complementary weapon that he can throw to, because A.J. Brown hasn't been that. We sure as hell know Julio hasn't been it. Corey Davis isn't here. Jonnu Smith isn't here. Anthony Ferkser has been flat out atrocious.
And that is why it is on Tannehill's shoulders to not seek in that situation, but to elevate those around him.
But again, he's trying to throw passes, and players keep dropping those passes.
Well,
Ferkser,
he hit a wide open Marcus Williams on that last pass on that drive.
Look, that was a bad decision. I get it. But he overcame it, and they were able to put 7 on the board. So, A to Z Sports here live on our halftime show. We always ask this, as the Titans are up right now by 7 points. 13-6 is the score at halftime. Remember, the Saints do get the ball to start the second half. We always ask you guys, what is your confidence level in the Titans winning this game? What is your confidence level in the Titans winning this game up 13-6 from what you've seen? Luke, I'll send you the comment section to see what the people are saying. But first, let me make sure and tell you guys about NashvillePowersports.com. If you're looking for a brand new golf cart, custom golf cart, whether it's for your family to dominate the neighborhood streets or for your business, NashvillePowersports.com is the one place to go. They can customize any part of that golf cart, whether it's 2-seater, 4-seater, 6-seater, whatever color it is. Also, they've got where they can take that speed restriction off, and you can be flying down in your brand new golf cart from Nashville Power Sports. Head to NashvillePowersports.com.
All right, let's take a look at some comments.
Yes.
Josh says 8. Alex says 3. Maurice 8. Sal 8.5. Ben, 7.5. Dominic says 6. Herb says 8. Clayton, 8.7. 7. So they're all kind of in that 6 to 9 range.
Yes. And so, again, I said that I thought the Saints would win 17-14. I mean, that's still out there. And I did say I felt like something would happen with the Saints scoring a non-offensive touchdown, a fluky situation in this game. I don't think the Saints offense is going to do much. I really don't expect the Saints to have another meaningful touchdown scored. They might get a backdoor touchdown if the Titans run away from them, but my confidence right now is at a 7. I like that number. There's still some room for error because Tannehill's made a bad decision. He got away with it. Hopefully, for the Titans' sake, getting away with that bad decision alerts him to not make another one like that. It would be a way different game right now if it was 6-6 and that interception did happen.
Yes.
And the Saints get the ball to start the third quarter. You're thinking this feels like the Jets game. Now, the Titans scored a touchdown, so it doesn't quite feel like the Jets game anymore because of that touchdown.
I'm going to go a little higher than you. I'm going to go 7.5.
Slightly, yeah.
And I think that if New Orleans does not score on their opening possession here in the second half, because they get the ball to start the second half, I think that number goes up to like a 9. I really do. Because I think that, like I mentioned a second ago, right, that disparity between these two teams is only going to get wider as this game progresses because as depleted as they are, the Titans are just a more talented bunch than the Saints. They have a better quarterback by a wide margin. And I just think that the more game that happens, the wider the gap is going to become.
I don't disagree. I see one key stat that is the difference in this game.
Okay.
Trevor Siemian, sacked 4 times, 22 yards. Ryan Tannehill, sacked 0 times.
Yeah.
The negative plays have not impacted the Titans offense like they had the Saints offense.
And we talked about it in the pregame show, getting Nate Davis and Taylor Lewan back with this offensive line. So far, so good for those guys. The run game, though not explosive, has gotten the job done. They've been efficient. And then Ryan Tannehill, like you just said, has stayed upright for the most part.
Yeah, Tyree says, so Austin, you think the Titans are going to score 1 point somehow? No, Tyree. My pregame pick was 17-14. I'm saying the outcome is still in play. Thank you for the dumb comment.
The 1 point safety, it's coming.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on.
Never happened in NFL history.
Right.
Today, it will happen.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the second half. We will be back here live for the post-game show, live at the Mainstay. If you're in Nissan Stadium watching us now, come on over here. It's a great place to post-game here at the Mainstay with Mill Creek Beers. 2-for-1 drafts here during all the Titans games. So check them out. Mill Creek Beers here at the Mainstay are 2-for-1 drafts. We'll see you guys in the post-game show. Enjoy the second half.